And welcome back. I apologize for cutting that duct tape short, but we have a series for you. We have the upper semifinals. Again, unfortunately, we were not able to dive into the lower semis. We weren't able to follow Nightmare into a series against MaxPax. It would have made sense for the overall storyline of this broadcast, but alas, that will be covered by another streamer. Steadfast did get into that series, so he'll be covering that PvP. Meanwhile, we have our own series. We have the upper semifinals, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Greswan, we have the final Zerg player in the entire tournament, representing the Platinum Heroes from the land of Colombia, papi. It is eGGz. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Greswan, we have his opponent. We have the French Terran player. He has made it back home from Sweden just in time to compete and play in ESL Open Cup Americas, because you know we gotta make up for we gotta make up for that plane ticket. Representing Team Liquid, it is Clem. And I am quickly just checking something here as we get into this TvZ again. Clem did take down Baby Marine, I believe 2-0. I'm not entirely certain how that series did progress. I think Artosis was casting that. I think Artosis was all over that series. Oh no, it was a 2-1. Oh my god. Shout out to Baby Marine for taking a game off of Clem. So yeah, Clem did win, but you know, has already bled so far today. Had dropped a map to Baby Marine, but we'll see how he does here against eGGz. Again, Clem is still coming in as the clear favorite. When it comes to eGGz, I'm quickly double checking. When was the last time I casted eGGz? It has been a while, and actually it hasn't been that long. There is a gap. There is a bit of a gap, but for the most part, the last time we casted eGGz was Sentimiento Latino last year, and then after that we casted eGGz in the qualifiers of ESL Masters Summer, the Americas closed qualifiers. I remember we casted eGGz versus Eric in a ZVZ. I do recall. I remember they played a game on Near Humanity. I remember eGGz playing very safe, very safe against Eric, as you can imagine. Oh boy, but yeah, it's been a while since then. eGGz has been streaming quite a lot. He hasn't been competing as much. He's been focusing on some IRL commitments, but now he is back and he is looking to go toe-to-toe here with Clem to represent Latino America, to represent the Americas in general, as eGGz is the only player left from the region of the Americas in ESL. Oh boy, so he is going to be the representative for this week. And we'll see if he can go even further. We've already been seeing some upsets. We saw Baby Marine take a game off of Clem. We saw Hon Mono take a game off of MaxPax as well. So clearly these things can happen, and we'll see what eGGz has in store for Clem. So far, Hatchcast pool, nothing too crazy from our Zerg player. Across the map, we have Clem going into something far more aggressive. He's going for a 1-1-1, something we don't see as often anymore. This has kind of fallen out of the meta as more macro play has been favored in general, but Clem is looking to be aggressive, as basically he is delaying his third CC. Oh boy. Meanwhile, Queen's nice positioning here, able to fend off the initial Reaper and Hellions for the time being. With this 1-1-1 opener, Clem is going to be going into Cloak. I almost said Glaives. I don't know why I saw this image and I thought Glaives. But he's going to be going into Cloak. Oh, not just Cloak. Clem is looking to be hyper aggressive right now. He's going to be making non-stop Hellions. We have an armory on the way. The Lynx try to go for a scout, but they don't see too much. They see 2 more Hellions on the way, but that isn't really much of a tell at all. Going up to 6 to 8 Hellions is not out of the norm. The Lynx are going to get some damage here in the natural. At the same time, though, the Hellions get into a mineral line. They get 3 drones. Oof. So we do trade workers for workers, but with this armory hidden in the main base, this is going to be a very committed push, and eGGz is going to need queens to defend. Oh, he's only got 5 queens right now. 5 queens for his 3 bases, and a lot of them, of course, are busy injecting. they're not going to be ready for this push. There's no Bailey Nest either. There's no Roach Warren. Mainly it's either more Queens or the Bailey Nest, really. One Hellion will go down, which will help, definitely. And Clem does start up a third CC behind this. We go the Hellbats will morph in. We do see one of the Queens going to be going down. Oh, I love the retargeting there from Clem as well. On said Queens, the Lings cannot engage with these Hellbats as they do get on top of this Spore. Oof. At the same time, we have a bit of a Ling counterattack, but no, there's plenty at home to defend as well, and Clem is breaking into the mineral line. The Queens are going to be hunted down one after the other. The Lings on their own can't really contest against this. Like, there's just no answer. Even with Ling reinforcements, the third base is going to be forfeit. eGGz has to evacuate. Does send his Lings out. He's going to get a bit of a surround on some of these Hellbats. So best case scenario here for eGGz. He does clean up a lot of Hellbats, as Clem did expose himself. But nothing shoots up. And yeah, we're just going to be rallying Hellbats across the map. And we're playing mech. We've got 2 more factories on the way. GG gets called. And Clem takes game number 1. GG. Unfortunately, eGGz did undercut Queen production. Again, I haven't casted eGGz in a ZVT in a long time. Actually, when was the last time I casted eGGz against a Terran? Last year in the Home Story Cup qualifiers. So yeah, I don't know if he typically does cut Queens, and that's like a stylistic choice, but he only did make 5 Queens in total. And again, you can defend with Ling Queen as long as you have like at least 8 Queens and at least 8 Queens all brought to the front lines in position. eGGz just had very little to defend there, and alas was caught with his pants down. Wasn't able to confirm if it was a 3cc opener or not. Was caught very off guard. And with that, Clem takes a lead in this series, and we're going to be looking to get into game number 2. And game 2 will be taking place on Grass Farm. Here we go. Oh boy, I see in the chat. Did you guys see did you watch Cyril versus Gumiho? Yeah. I think a lot of people were really impressed by Gumiho. I think that's probably my biggest takeaway from ESL Summer is Gumiho was looking so good. Typically, he's known to be more of a gimmicky player, and quote-unquote gimmicky, I should say. And I do think that did show itself in the TvTs especially. Like, he was hyper-aggressive and very unorthodox in those TvTs. It was very hard for his opponents to keep up with him just because of how flexible he was. But I think in his TvZs, like, mechanically, he was looking really good as well. And I think that's what really caught me off guard. So yeah, I think he got a lot of fans from that, myself included. Like, I'm now more expecting of Gumiho after his performance, and I'm really happy to see him doing well, especially because he's teamless. Like, he doesn't have a team, he doesn't have economic support backing him. So yeah, it's really cool to see him, like, arguably in GSL winning form once again. So keep an eye out for Gumiho, keep an eye out as we are getting into this series. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ancient Sister, and we have our Blue Zerg player hailing from the land of Colombia, representing the Platinum Heroes. It is eGGz. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the French Terran player representing Team Liquid, currently leading this series 1-0. It is Clem. Here we go. Again, Clem just opening up very aggressively in that last game, and it's not like he was all in. Like, there was a third base behind it, he was throwing down additional factories, like, he was getting ready for a mech transition It's just, again, he was able to catch eGGz very exposed. eGGz was very vulnerable and just not ready for any kind of aggressive maneuver from Clem. Hopefully he's able to have better luck here in game 2. I mean, we are an Ancient Cistern. It is a much larger map. I imagine eGGz is going to have a lot more freedom, and he's going to feel a lot more comfortable on this map. So I do think this is going to be a good opportunity for him to bounce back and, yeah, to show off more. Of his ZVT. I think that last game did end a little bit early and a little bit abruptly. Because of that, we weren't really able to, or eGGz wasn't able to showcase himself too much, but I'm sure that will change here in game 2. I see already in the chat. Go Clem, we need nuke tonight, Poppy. Aye, aye, aye. Frowns in the chat, let's go, Poppy. Oh, welcome to the stream. Hope you're all doing well. Oh. Everyone is enjoying this lovely Tuesday morning or Monday evening, depending on where you are. Reaper's going to be dancing with the Lings. Let's take down 2 Lings already, so good trade so far here by Clem. eGGz being contained to 2 bases, but eGGz, he wants to stay on 2 bases because he's going for a very fast lair. Oh my god. We have more queens on the way. Is this going to be for a Ling Nidus all in? I'm very curious. We do have a second gas geyser, so this could lead to something else instead. Could we be seeing 2 Ace Muta? We have an Overlord in position outside the main. We're going for a Roach Warren. Oh my god. Okay. Nidus is still not off the table, but typically if we're going for a Nidus like Roach all-in, we would typically have a 3rd gas geyser. So I'm curious as to, just because we don't really have a lot of gas to work with, so yeah, I want to see how this all comes together. As the 3rd base is on the way, this is going to be confirmed by eGGz. There is that Nidus that we were talking about, so it is going to be a Nidus all-in. Meanwhile, the Hellions, oh, they do end up roasting up a lot of these drones. They make their way into the main base. They're going to get a full scout of the main as well. Are they, though? They don't get behind the mineral line, not yet. Oh, but he goes for it. He does confirm the lair, the Roach Warren, and the Nidus. Oh boy, the Hellions are just getting out of control. They're getting out of hand. Far too many workers are falling here. Meanwhile, Overlord in the main gets swatted away by this Marine. We do have a Nidus here at the natural, thankfully. But the boys are being pulled. The Overlord does dive back into the main base, so we're going to have another Nidus available for us here towards the north. But Clem is quick to rotate over. He's quick to get eyes on this as well. We have more Hellions. We have Banshees. These Niduses, they're going to be going down. Oof. We have one last-ditch effort. Nidus. I love the Changeling to try and slow down the army and wall off. But GG gets called. The Niduses will not get up, and Clem will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Congratulations to Clem. Again, he did come in as the favorite. He did come in as the favorite, but, you know, upsets are always possible, and dark horses are always one to arise. But Clem does take the series 2-0, moves on to the grand finals. Meanwhile, we just got an update. Max Pax also took down Nightmare 2-0 as well. And we do have a TVP finals for you. We are heading over to the land of Europe. We're going to Europa. Let's go. But a shout out to eGGz though, because again, he was able to have a really deep run. To make it to the semifinals is no easy feat. He was able to overcome the might that is Epic going into this tournament as well, or going into the semifinals as well. So yeah, really good stuff here from eGGz as we do prepare ourselves for our next series, for the grand finals. And because it's the finals, you know what that means? That means we have predictions. Oh, let's go. Let's go.